College football week 14 is here. I'm Shannon Sommerville with your top 5 college football player prop picks for this weekend in college football. It is hardware season, conference championships on the line this weekend, and we've got 5 great picks for you that are available on Underdog Fantasy, PrizePicks, Sleeper, and CHALKBOARD. If you don't have those apps, go ahead and download them. Use the promo code LineStar when you do, and you'll get up to $100 of your first deposit matched. Also, the tool that I'm using to find these best bets is called the Props AI tool. You can just check that out yourself at LineStarApp.com. It compares LineStar's projections to what's out there in all the various sports books. It's also like a one-stop shop for all of your research needs for just betting a little bit smarter, getting more educated on some of these bets. So today I've done some research for you. So it's like a group project where I do all the work. You can just put your name right on it and tail us on Underdog Fantasy, PrizePicks, Sleeper, and CHALKBOARD. Also, if you haven't already, do me a huge favor. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and comment below. A comment also enters you into our little prop bets contest. If we go 4 for 5, one randomly selected commenter will win $100, and we will announce that on the show later next week. So hopefully we can make some money. Last week on the show, or 2 weeks ago rather, I was off last week for Thanksgiving. We were 3-3, so we've got some improvement to do, but I think I've found a little bit of edge in these tough games, especially in the SEC Championship game. You guys know I watch a lot of my Georgia Bulldogs. I'm so excited for this SEC Championship game. We've got Alabama going up against Georgia. And in this game, the first player prop that I'm looking at, and the one that I'm probably most confident in all of the picks, is actually an Alabama player. Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe, over 38.5 rushing yards. Milroe's averaging just under 40 rush yards per game. He's gone over in 5 of 11 and just had 107 rushing yards against Auburn. Now, Georgia's a much better defense than Auburn, but where they have struggled so far this season has been against the run and against dual threat quarterbacks who can run the ball pretty effectively. And this will be the best dual threat quarterback that they have faced to date. In fact, Kirby Smart, the coach for Georgia, has compared him to Lamar Jackson. So the Georgia defense will have their hands full. They are also still without one of their star linebackers. Jamon Dumas-Johnson is still out with this one. He's been out the past couple of weeks with a forearm injury, so he's out in this one. That's a huge blow to that defense. So I'm looking at Jalen Milroe over 38.5 rushing yards in this one. I think the Georgia Bulldogs might have a tough time containing him in this one. On the other side of that matchup, I'm going to a player prop that I've been taking all season long, and it's been very profitable for me. Georgia Bulldogs tight end Bowers, over 55.5 receiving yards. That line is available on Underdog Fantasy. It has gone up in some other books. Make sure you double check. If you can lock that in at 55.5, go ahead and do it. Bowers is averaging 73 receiving yards per game and has gone over that line in 5 of 9 games this season. And I don't think those stats even remotely take into account the talent level of Bowers because he has been dealing with injuries this season. He should be fully healthy and good to go against Alabama on Saturday. And this is a team that he did face 2 years ago. He had over 139 to be exact, in his first meeting with Alabama his freshman year. The second game in the national championship game, he had 36. That was his freshman year. Now he's a junior, more mature, has a much better handle on the offense here, and he's a reliable target for Carson Beck, who will need him in this game for sure. So we're going Bowers over 55.5 receiving yards. Next up to the Big 12 title game, we're rolling with Texas Longhorns running back Jaden Blue over 30.5 rushing yards. LineStar and the consensus projections both projecting the over here. Blue is RB2. We still expect him to be that second option behind CJ Baxter, but Texas is still kind of using a committee approach here. Blue will get plenty of opportunity, especially against an Oklahoma State rush defense that ranks 10th in the Big 12. Also, the Longhorns are 2 touchdown favorites in this one. I expect them, if it does get into a blowout situation, Blue will get plenty of opportunities. They're just going to run the ball in this one, and I expect Blue to hit that over. He's slippery, strong, and just can really break off a big run. So, I mean, he could only need a couple of carries to hit this for us. So we're taking Blue over 30.5 rushing yards. To the Big Ten championship game, Michigan taking on Iowa. And in this game, I am eyeing Michigan Wolverines running back Blake Corum over 92.5 rushing yards. I know that's a high line in this one, but I still like the over here for Blake Corum. I think he's going to be featured heavily in this matchup. Corum's averaging 81 rush yards per game, but he's averaging 4.8 yards per carry. And what I think in this game is he'll see 20 plus carries against Iowa, who's, yes, they've got a good defense. They're fourth in the Big Ten in rush yards allowed. However, I think their offense isn't very good. And so Michigan should really dominate time of possession. Michigan 21.5-point favorites in this one. So if they're out to a big lead, I fully expect them to just commit to the run game, try not to get anybody hurt in this game so they can advance to the college football playoffs relatively unscathed in this one. We're going Blake Corum over 92.5 rushing yards. Lastly, we're going to the ACC Championship game. Interesting one here because Louisville is going up against Florida State, who's dealing with some question marks at quarterback in this one. Remember a couple of weeks ago, Jordan Travis, the starting quarterback for Florida State, was injured, season-ending injury for him. So in comes Tate Rodemaker. Last week he was injured. He had a head injury against Florida. So he's a game-time decision for Florida State in the ACC title game in this one. The inclination might be to check out their running back Trey Benson over on his rushing yards, thinking they might just rely on the run game in this one. However, that plays right into the strength of Louisville. So that's exactly why I'm going Trey Benson under 93.5 rushing yards. Yes, this plays right into the strength of Louisville. They've allowed the fewest rushing yards per game in the conference. So I think the game plan for Louisville here, just stop the run, force them to throw, maybe make some mistakes in the air. But this is going to be a good game, but I don't think Trey Benson is going to be able to clear that over here against a very good Louisville Cardinals rushing defense. Those are my top 5 picks for college football conference championship Saturday. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you love them, if you hate them, if you think I'm absolutely crazy, if you think that Georgia's going to absolutely crush Alabama. I'd love to hear that in the comments. A comment also enters you into our prop bets contest. If we hit 4 of 5, one randomly selected commenter wins $100. So you got to be in it to win it. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, comment below, and you are in it. Also check out that Props AI tool on the LineStar app. It's what I'm using to help me out. And you'll notice on these graphics, the projections and stuff has all that stuff. One-stop shop for all your research needs for the prop market. So check that out at linestarapp.com. Good luck, everybody, this weekend. We will see you guys next time.